So this is part 3. Welcome to SMS News Channel. Before I get started on this topic, I would like for you, to like, share, and hit the bell notification for another video if you would like to talk about things. Leave a comment down below and we can get started on stuff I'm trying to work on. Doing a video at least once a week and just saying some things that I think we need to talk about. If you want, you just let me know. But as I was saying before I got cut off, in church we have our ways about doing stuff, and I know that a lot of religions, it's kind of hard to not think of gender roles because there are some religions that don't believe that women should have rights. I mean, heck, I was in a religion and a faith that took a long time to understand that women could be used in ministry, that we could, do things to beautify ourselves and stuff. So there are some parts of that faith that are still old-fashioned, and they don't allow, women to wear makeup and jewelry and what have you. They just want you to be modest. There's some that don't care. There's some that are inclusive to gender. There are some that are, it's a lot of stuff now. So the past 2 videos I was talking about relationships online and whether or not the old-fashioned way of just getting to know somebody in person is a lot better than, meeting them online and talking to them and then meeting them in person, or just talking to a person over the phone, But in church, when we have discussions about dating, sometimes the pastor will take the time to have Bible classes and talk about things. Sometimes they'll appoint certain ministers to talk about things with people so they can get a better understanding. Like if a person is getting married, they'll have, couples therapy with the pastor, or if the couples are already married, they'll have relationship seminars and stuff like that on how to build your marriage. And I think that these podcasts that are not so much in the church, but they are in the world and they're trying to help people and give them better advice on stuff, they're in the right ballpark. I just think that because some of us are not comfortable with having those hard conversations without getting in our feelings, that's what makes it tough. I mean, do I think that it was fair how I was handled? No. I think overall, I think anybody would get frustrated, period. It just comes to a time where you feel like, you shouldn't be used. You know what I'm saying? I'm never going to turn and look at my mistakes as problems. I look at my mistakes. Some of my mistakes I wish I never done, but certain mistakes, it's like you turn and you learn from them and you just don't make those decisions anymore. But when we get on these podcasts and we talk about relationships, are we comfortable enough to just say that we're in a world where, because people are trying to be more accepting to women working, women taking more positions that are not only, some of them are male dominant, that it makes it intimidating to want to date somebody? Because I'll see stuff like that TV show where it says Pop or Find Love, and see TV shows that were older than that talking about Shot of Love with this one named Tia or Flavor of Love, and those things are acceptable, or Bachelorette or Bachelor of Love or whatever. And it's like, you guys are okay with getting to know each other, but can we be honest? Can we not look at that individual like they need to help us out? You know what I'm saying? I don't ever want to be in a situation where I feel like I'm using somebody. Never. I want to be happy. You know what I'm saying? And I think the depression comes with some women and some men when they have their heart open. I think the reason why I'm so tenderhearted is because I just get tired of people finessing folk. Just don't involve yourself. If your intentions are just horrible with people, don't get involved, because the last thing you want to do, because the thing that kills me about people who want to say that they're wasting their time talking to you, you're not being honest with yourself. You didn't come into the situation with open arms like you really wanted something. You came in the situation because you wanted to see what you were going to get. Sometimes, no, everybody doesn't want to be physical. Sometimes everybody don't want to talk about fetishes. Sometimes people don't want to send pictures. Sometimes people don't want to do all these other things. What's wrong with just having a regular date? And I'm saying this is stuff that happens not only in the world, in church. Let's stop putting the stigma that we don't have flaws. Be real and honest with each other. Yeah, let's stop the whole thing that, church girls are freaks and church boys are freaks. We don't know. We haven't all slept together. So let's stop that charade. Let's be honest at the fact that now that we have the LGBT plus QIA group that's in church too, that people are uncomfortable in dating. Let's talk about those things. Some people are uncomfortable because they feel like they don't know if a person is straight or gay or not. And then you have some people that are in that lifestyle that they don't feel comfortable because they don't know if they're going to be accepted. You know what I mean? And it's a lot. I don't understand why we do so many people wrong in relationships. I'll give you an example. The reason why I think a lot of people were so aggravated with maybe Kiki getting a baby and not getting married, or Haley having a baby and not being married, is because I think a lot of older women, if they can just be honest, they saw something that a lot of people don't see. Why would you want to be tied to somebody like that and then they turn around and be abusive? Then they are abusive. Kiki nearly got beaten allegedly, in her own living room, and it was on video camera. Hallie got her tooth chipped just from having a disagreement in a car. So you see what I'm saying? Why do we feel like it's okay to sleep with somebody, have a baby with them, and be about your merry way and talk to somebody else? And then you wonder why you have baby mamas, baby daddies that are hating themselves, hating their lives because they're tied to a person that they never wanted to be tied to. And then you got some people that think it's okay to play games with their baby mama and baby daddy. And you got these stupid little memes talking about I wish my baby daddies would all get along, or my baby mamas all get along. No. Why don't you just have one relationship, have kids with that relationship. Now, I'm not going to say that relationships are not going to have their ups and downs, because there's people that were married, had the whole 9 yards, and it still didn't work and they got divorced. But I'm saying, in the process, what's wrong with taking the time? Get to work on you. Get some therapy. Help yourself out. Understand why the quirks, certain things that you don't like. I've had relationships where somebody was like, yeah, I want us to have this amount of kids. And this was just week 2 of dating. And I'm looking at the situation like, we haven't even gotten into the relationship good, and you already talking about marriage. I mean, that's great that you want to lead into it. But at the time, we were so young, didn't know any better. Looking back, I'm glad it didn't work, because it was too early, too soon. I do believe in dating to marriage. I do. But if you're too young and you haven't lived life a little bit, like at least got a degree or try to get your life together. I'm talking about me in particular. Stuff that you wanted to do first before you got into a serious situation. It is what it is. Here's another thing. If you get in a relationship, let your spouse have friends. I'm not talking about opposite gender friends, because if you guys are that insecure about that, don't even bring it up. But I'm just saying, let them have friends. Let them have a break. That's all I'm saying. Nothing wrong with that. Let them have a break. They see you every day. That love doesn't change, but they want to be able to have a moment to hang out. Now, if they had kids, it's going to be kind of hard because of children. But if they've been married for a while, or if they've been in a relationship for a while, nothing wrong with that. I feel like you should be able to have your friends that you've been friends with for a long time, your married friends that you hang out with, that you have married couple friends, and then friends amongst a relationship, that you're okay with, that you and him are friends with. You know what I'm saying? Because if the relationship doesn't work out, at least you still have people that have your back. You know what I'm saying? In some cases, I haven't had good relationships in this regard. I guess in relationships concerning like my own parents, it was weird with their friends, because when they got, separated or whatever, their friends were just weird. I don't know, but I was just really young. But as a grown person, I don't know. 20s was so hard. It was weird, but I just want to see people happy in a good relationship. I don't want them to be finessed. And I can't control that. And that's one thing I know I can't ever control. But I just think that maybe some of these dating apps need to be removed, because you guys are promising stuff that you can't keep. It's no different than being and joining into a religious group or non-religious group and promising all these things and you don't have the resources. You don't get in a relationship just to have things. You get in a relationship because you want to and you love that person. Or is that a fairy tale too? Because see, a lot of people don't want to be honest about, they don't really want to feel things. They want to get with a person just so they can have fun with, and then they got what they needed. But if you say that you just want to get to know a person or talk to a person, that's using a person. We gotta know the difference. Learning somebody and getting to know them is nothing wrong with that. But hopping from one person to the next is not going to find you any peace. If you're like that, more power to you. I'm not going to tell you what that was like, because I've had relationships, but I wasn't just hopping from person to person. I don't know what that's like. But personally, I think for me, I just want to see people happy. I want to see them finally be able to say, you know what, I love this person, and now, you know what I mean, they have good values. I think that that's a person that I want to be in a relationship with. Because if you're just trying to get into a relationship just so you can gain the privilege of sex, then go join a app that'll satisfy you and do what you want to do. But when you have your heart set on really loving that person, don't abuse them. Do the right thing by them. Ain't nobody perfect. You're not going to come out of the situation like that. You know what I mean? Be okay with that. If a person wants more in a situation than just that, then just say, okay, I'm sorry. I'm not going to do. Don't waste nobody's time like that. And that's why I cut the situation off personally. Because for me, as I'm getting older, I want a relationship. That's it. I don't want no situationships. I don't want no this piece, that piece. I don't want none of that. Good, wholesome relationship where I'm working on myself, getting myself help. They work on themselves. It's not going to be perfect. We have our moments. But I'm so tired of the finesse. That's it. And I don't want to come off harsh or disrespectful or hurtful, but I just want to see some people happy and getting the things that they want and getting the things that God knows that they need. And it's hard because we live in a world where people just get what they want just because they use and abuse and do whatever they want, because that's the way of this world. But for those that really have a genuine good heart, I'm praying for y'all, because it's rough out here in these streets trying to find a good person. I gave up because I just didn't want to be. I can't do the heartbreak. I'm not a weak individual by far, but I just know for me personally, there's so much stuff that has happened. So much stuff. I could say in almost 3 or 4 videos. You couldn't say this stuff enough, even louder. I'm just gonna be real with you. Just gotta pray about it. It is what it is. But this has been another episode. SMS News Channel. I'm gonna try to do a video once a week, and we will go from there. If you guys have any topics that you want to talk about, we can touch on, comment down below, and we'll be back with more. Until next time.